downtown Lincoln, in front of Corey Leonard, Shelter Insurance. Co-host Scott Kirby.
Yeah, just kind of looking over the paper today, kind of sum you guys up on, kind of what happened last night, the kickoff season of high school football. Looks like the Springfield Senators were victorious over Lanphier Lions 35-7. Glenwood over Taylorville 42-0. Sacred Heart Griffin 41, Southeast 7, and that was Coach Leonard's 300th win.
Wow.
We talked about it earlier. Lincoln loses to Jacksonville 48-0. Just going through some of the box scores, looks like Jacksonville quarterback had a pretty good night. Reggie Bratton had 3 touchdown passes. Just looking through the stats, Anthony Cannon was Lincoln's leading rusher. He had 10 carries, 51 yards. Leading receiver for Lincoln looks like Dane Eimer with 2 catches, 29 yards. Wes White had a catch for 14. So just looking over the stats, it doesn't look like Lincoln really moved the ball too well, but, being first game, got some stuff to iron out.
Lanphier has some good players, man.
And, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Central State 8's a tough conference.
Tough conference.
Lanphier, very athletic. They're going to play a style of football where it's going to be quickness.
It's all or nothing.
It's all quickness. Yeah. They're not going to deceive you. And it looks like Coach McDonald just did show up here behind us. So We'll get him over here, sitting down, put the headphones on, and get his take on what happened last night and see how he feels about, kickoff football game and, what he expects. And
absolutely. But,
about the season.
Keep going, talking into it, all the different teams, Rochester, Sacred Heart Griffin, Springfield this year, Chatham, always Chatham, it seems like, what a stacked conference, Coach. Pretty loaded last night, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. We knew it was going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's always just got some hard-nosed, tough, strong kids, and they've got a whole lot of speed this year too.
They have quite a few kids playing on their side of the ball. I mean, did they have pretty full team?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. I think that's something we're kind of struggling with a little bit this year, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got we got 9 guys that are starting both sides of the ball, and then so that's going to take its toll on you.
Yeah.
We got to just keep encouraging them to.
Especially against a big, strong team.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Which, from what I hear, Jacksonville is quite bad. They're pretty big.
Well, whenever you Coach, when you're shuffling kids in and out, getting them a break, the long haul, up to the fourth quarter, it's going to take your toll on you if you don't have the kids to sub in and sub out. Like you said, you have 9 kids starting both ways, and it comes about third quarter, middle of the third, they're going to be tired and could break the game wide open. So how did you feel the game went the first half, where you had some fresh kids and obviously you've been practicing for 3 or 4 weeks with no competition, and so now you got a kind of an idea of what you need to work on, what some of your strong points and weaknesses are. How do you feel about how the game went overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good to start off a season like that with that kind of speed, and like you said, there's no way to simulate that kind of speed in practice, and it's very difficult to simulate even that type of the physicalness of a game, unless we're taking our best on best, but to be able to, for our bigger, stronger guys to battle against guys that are just as big and strong throughout the game, it ups the level there. It shows them how much harder they've got to work and push themselves each week, and our guys have been. They've been working real hard in practice, and it's just it's always good for a guy to have a rest, to be able to get out and just kind of catch his breath and get a blow, and it's tough on them. And but I think the guys, especially our older guys, I mean, they're up to that challenge. I think they want to be on the field at all times as much as possible, and I'm sure it would be good for them to get a break, here and there. But we were proud of the effort last night. I mean, there's some things we got to work on. There were some mistakes that kind of hurt us at times, which is going to happen in high school football, and we got to sharpen that up.
Now, obviously, football's a contact sport, and I think the IHSA, they're starting to kind of try to regulate how much hitting you do at practice. I don't know what your practice schedule is as far as physical contact, as far as hitting. And that could also be a part of what happened last night, just getting the game speed and the contact of the sport. So, getting that first game under your belt, maybe the kids will react and get some kind of feel of, what they need to do next week.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to keep that in mind. There's that fine line of teaching the aggressiveness and I guess preparing them for the physicalness throughout the preseason and even throughout the season now without overdoing it. I mean, we got to kind of listen to them and see how beat up and bruised they are, and sometimes we have to adjust things and kind of pull it back a little bit. And
with not having the numbers too, it's kind of hard to do that, because you don't want anybody to get hurt at practice.
Exactly.
Obviously,
right.
If they're gonna go out, and you want them to be as fresh as possible game time, but that's kind of a where's the balance. You don't want to hit, you don't want to have a lot of contact, but at the same time you want to have them as prepared as possible. So that's a fine line, and I'm sure it's very difficult to judge and implement that kind of mentality.
Sure, and an awful lot of it comes also down to just the mental toughness of them just kind of pushing themselves. And we had a little light workout this morning. The guys are coming in and they're walking in slow and stiff, and they're banged up and bruised. And but I think they feel good about it. It feels better after a win, but they feel good about, I think, the effort that they gave last night. And
do you have a younger team? Obviously, looking at it on paper, it looks like there was a lot of juniors. Do you have a lot of seniors, or what's the balance of your team where you're returning next year just to get that experience?
Well, I mean, our junior class is low right now. Our sophomore class, which is playing right now, kind of tough on them because they dress for our varsity games, and most of them, if not all of them, got into the game, and we use them for special teams, and then they had to get up this morning and leave at 7:30 to go back to Jacksonville for a sophomore game. And that's also another fine line there, getting them a little varsity experience, but yet not putting them in the game too soon in a game like that last night, because they got to turn around and play a full game today, and most of those guys are going both ways today also.
And you don't want to ruin their confidence either. You put them in a varsity game, obviously the speed and the skill set is a lot different than a fresh off game.
Sure.
And sometimes you can ruin a kid's their confidence, and but you got to do what you got to do. If you don't have the numbers, you got to put kids in there that you feel comfortable putting in there, and hopefully they respond. Yeah,
and it gives them a taste kind of how exciting a Friday night football game can be. There's a big difference in the overall atmosphere of a Saturday morning game and a Friday night game under the lights.
How were field conditions last night down Jacksonville? I mean, with it being as dry as it is, was it an issue there or no?
I don't think it was an issue. I think their field was in pretty good shape, considering the drought we've had. The grass was tall and thick, probably maybe a little taller than we expected with their speed that they have there, but they're probably just they're thinking of the long haul. A lot of games down the road, and that's probably our field at home is in pretty good shape right now too.
Good. And you come out healthy, everybody. How the kids go through the game? Did they finish out the game pretty good?
Everybody's healthy, other than just the normal bumps and bruises and soreness, but everybody's healthy, so we came out of it well.
Good. We got opening home game next Friday, Coach.
Yes, Lanphier.
Against Lanphier. So we encourage everybody in Lincoln-Logan County to come out and support the Lincoln Railers football team. It's going to be a long, tough season for them, but there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to improve and get better. You guys are going to compete. It's just the way Lincoln is, and hopefully we can build on next week and get some fans out there, get these kids as morale
What are you expecting to see next week from Lanphier?
You're always going to have speed from Lanphier. They're always going to have, for the most part, some big linemen. Last year we had a battle right down to the wire, where their running back basically was last year was most of their offense in the game against us, and ran for 300 yards. He just had a hard time getting him wrapped up and getting enough guys to him. He was
I think everybody had a problem with that last year.
Right. I'm not expecting them to have anybody of his level, but you never know. They may have 3 or 4 guys that are similar to him. So we expect to go into every game that we better be ready at our top level, our intensity level up, and our focus to be ready to battle.
Yep. You got plans for Lincoln tonight or anything with the family?
My son's got a GFL game in Springfield today, so I'll be taking him over there and watching some of that. And my wife and daughter have been during the week doing chalk out here in the sidewalks, and so we'll try to get involved as much as we can.
Nice.
Get some barbecue.
Absolutely.
It smells great out here, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just, I'm ready for lunch.
And we're going to take a quick break here downtown Lincoln. We'll come back, have the coach on for a few more minutes, and wrap it up after that. And we're back on the square in downtown Lincoln for Up in Smoke on the Square contest. We got Corey Leonard, Shelter Insurance. It was where we're sitting in front of, and they're actually competing with Jim Grimaldi here. And we've got the coach and a couple of his players here. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Anthony Cannon.
Anthony, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Senior? What position do you play?
I play fullback and middle linebacker.
How's that working out for you this morning?
I'm a little bit sore this morning because it's 2 tough positions, but
Well, it looks like you had 10 carries last night for 51 yards.
yep.
Took a little beating, so
Yeah, it's a little rough in the middle, but I like it. So
Is this one of your workhorses, Coach?
Oh yeah, he is, and he will continue to be. Yeah.
does he still have the nickname Tank?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we call him most of the time. Is
That's
Tank.
what
Yeah.
we called him.
Yeah.
And JFL Tank, because that's how he wanted to run people over.
Oh, yeah.
He won't outrun you, but he will run you over.
He did that last night. I noticed there were some times he got ahead of steam going through the line, and I almost felt sorry for the little safety to come up there trying to block him, and he put the punch on him.
Good deal. That's what we like to see.
In your opinion, how'd the game go last night? You have some good spots. You got some good points, some highlights in your mind that you're taking away from it.
well, I think we only have we had 26 players last night, something like that. So I don't know, just our effort. We had a good effort all around. It was hard going both ways and stuff, but that's what we practice for. That's what we get in shape for. So I'm ready for the challenge, and I like the challenge. So, but overall, I think everybody played hard. We didn't give up. So my linemen, I had holes at points. So I had holes pretty much the whole game. I just had to find them. So I believe that we played pretty good.
And
Played tough.
And what year are you?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
And your partner here,
Dane Eimer, also a senior.
Dane, what position you play?
Safety and wide receiver.
Yeah. And how did you perform last night? You get some good blocks in or anything?
Mostly some decent tackles, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's all right. Maybe a couple of blocks were decent.
Looks like he had a couple of catches for 29 yards.
Yeah, Cruz found me on the outside for a couple hitches. Had some space. They were playing off me a little bit. So it was good on those catches.
He's being modest. He had a couple of hits last night that were as good as you'll see it. Get defensively, a kid crossing the middle, just great, hard, clean hit, and then he had a crack block for us. It was just a tremendous block.
Well, he's another kid I had at JFL, and he was the smallest kid on the field, but he was the hardest hitting kid on the field. Looks like he's grown a little bit. He's passed Cannon up, so I don't think Anthony the Tank has grown since 6th grade. He's always been that big, and he's a tough kid. So Eimer's got him, especially even with that haircut.
Yeah, he's got me a little bit.
Yeah, the flat top.
Yeah, these guys have been great leaders for us throughout the summer. I mean, the weight room, their intensity every day in there is picking guys up and encouraging guys and just real high intensity, and have been extremely pleased with what they've been doing for us this year.
That's good.
Now, Coach, we were talking last week a little bit about the running game. How did translate onto the field last week, or yesterday, I'm sorry?
I think we battled pretty well. I mean, they were blitzing some guys, so it makes it tough when they're coming up the middle like that. And again, they were just so athletic and aggressive.
Yeah.
Some good plays. We had too many plays where we lost yards. That hurt us. We had 2 or 3 good positive yardage plays that were brought back on penalties, which hurt us. And that's what we talked about. That we've got to clean those things up so we don't take away those positive yardage plays away from us. But again, I think the guys were getting off the ball pretty well. We had trouble at times, and and if everything worked as well as it's drawn up on paper, it'd be an easy sport, wouldn't it? But the other team's trying to compete against you, and they're coming out to win. And so I thought we battled pretty well. Just couldn't string them together like we want to, and couldn't get in the end zone there.
Guys, what are you expecting out next week? Home opener.
Yeah.
Gonna get a little motivation this week going around school.
Yeah, definitely want to play well at home, stick it to them, and make up for yesterday and try to get a win. Definitely.
Big victory here. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, Coach, thank you for coming on today. We're wrapping it up here. Any final words from you?
Oh, we're looking forward to the next week, and I think these guys are ready. Just based on their attitude this morning, they're ready to start off our home season, next week, and get out there and compete in front of the home fans. But we have a big crowd to come out and support them because they've been working real hard.
Very nice. Again, thank you to everybody downtown here. Again, in front of Corey Leonard Shelter Insurance. Great event we got going on downtown, and big weekend for Lincoln and Logan County with the Balloon Festival going on, with everybody in town getting to see what Lincoln's all about. The nice hometown atmosphere that we always provide. It's a great thing for Lincoln and Logan County to be able to represent our state in the way we do here. So, again, thank you, Coach. Scott, appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You're going to be on a few more times here before long.
That's what I'm being told. So maybe until they see the broadcast, they might, we don't want him back. So.
Oh, no, we'll be. I think we'll be good. So, again, guys, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Good luck next week.
Thanks.
And the rest of the season.
And we're wrapping it up here from downtown Lincoln. Thank you, and good day.